When your sink is in trouble, you can call them on a double. Here's your look at the brand new Jakks Pacific, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Luigi. Collect your favorite characters in the Super Mario Bros. Movie 5-inch figure series. The Luigi figure is inspired by the movie and comes with premium details including realistic acrylic eyes and 16 points of articulation. Luigi comes with a flashlight accessory, all showcased in a window box. Just before Luigi makes his way to a mansion, let's grab the tape measure just to see how tall the figure stands. Now, I did want to make a correction. I think in the review of the Mario, I may have mentioned that the figures were $24.97. I think in actual fact that they were more $28.97. Owie, ow. That's a spicy meatball. Luigi, though, stands in this case a little bit taller than Mario. He's actually 5.5 inches in height, or the figure's 13.5 centimeters tall. And for your brotherly comparison, let's slide over Luigi, who is going to be, of course, the taller of the two brothers. And let's bring in the Mario that we already had a look at. Obviously, height is not the only thing that does change between the two. Mario is going to be a little more of a stockier character, as has always really been the case. In the movie, though, Chris Pratt's going to be providing the voice of Mario. Luigi, though, is going to be voiced by Charlie Day, who's always best known for Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's honestly not a series I've ever really sat down to watch. Maybe watched 1 or 2 episodes, but I've always been told I should sit down and watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I actually more recognize him from Horrible Bosses 1 and 2. Those are 2 funny movies. If you ever get the chance, you should really check them out. Horrible Bosses aside, though, Luigi, like Mario, does come included with only one accessory, and making mention earlier to Luigi's mansion, the figure comes included with a flashlight. Having not seen the movie, because obviously I haven't time traveled, I actually haven't been in touch with Time Jumper for a long time, but I'm sure he's already seen the movie. Mario, the Super Mario Brothers movie is actually slated to release a couple of days just after me filming this. So maybe even by the time that this video of Luigi goes up, many of you probably have already told me down below in the comments section, well, the Super Mario Brothers movie is already out. And unless you're a time jumper, you're probably just seeing it at the time that the movie's actually now been released in theaters. Boy, that was long-winded. Anyways, the figure comes included with a flashlight. The flashlight light, for what it is actually nicely colored. It's mostly here done in yellow plastic. There's a few little things that they painted on there as well. I do like that they've added things like the plug. The little part, of course, you'd attach this to a cable and then a wall outlet to charge it. They've also included a little switch there on the top, little fasteners where the handles would be attached to the flashlight. And while it doesn't look like it's appearing to be on, it is a fairly heavy bit of plastic. It does fit into his hand. Although, again, like it's not going to fit into this hand right here. This is just a relaxed hand. This, rather, instead is going to fit into this hand. I did actually have to heat the plastic up just a little bit with a hairdryer, just so I could actually pry the plastic away to get him to actually properly hold the flashlight. Even when he is holding the flashlight, he doesn't hold it in such a way where you can actually have the arm up, because, of course, if you have it up, it looks like he's actually drinking from a thermos instead. You kind of really have to have it down below. And also, the further up I've noticed that you have it, his elbow, at least on this side, is starting to develop, or I think it's more the shoulder, is starting to develop a little bit of looseness. So I think only by having the flashlight being brought up like this is only going to be adding insult to injury, and that's eventually going to make the shoulder even looser than what it is right now. In case you are curious, though, we can go ahead and remove the flashlight. If you did want to take Mario's plunger, it does also fit into his hand, although obviously his grip is going to be a little bit bigger to accommodate the flashlight, and of course the plunger is only just going to drop into his hand instead. Move that to the side. Getting a closer look, though, at Luigi. Luigi was always one I had a little more attachment to than Mario, simply just because whenever I went to a friend's house and anytime I had the chance to play anything Mario related, my friend would always be the one, the fool would always be one picking Mario, of course, and then I would be relegated to keeping the Luigi, Mario's brother. And I was always fine for that. I like the look of Luigi myself. He's a little bit more of a slimmer looking Mario brother. Of course, obviously, he's not going to be as big and bulky as Mario. And also, though, while he isn't as big and bulky, he at least is taller than Mario. Even with the hat, you can see how much shorter Mario is than his brother. The coloring of the green looks really good on this guy. Again, we're going to look at the fact that his eyes, once again, are being advertised at having clear acrylics. Now, basically what it is they put like a clear acrylic kind of lens over top of the eye, and then the eye is underneath it. Under certain lit conditions, especially with having studio light shining on it like this, it sort of does give him this weird looking shadowing right around the area where the eye would be. Kind of from a distance, gives him kind of a look like he's got pink eye. I may have even mentioned that in the review of the Mario. I mean, it's okay. It's a little jarring, of course, just to see, because while you're so used to seeing so many things painted on a Mario figure or a Luigi figure, this is one time where the eye sort of does give a little bit more life to it, but it sort of does make him a little bit more creepier also as well. The hat, like Mario, is not removable. The hat itself, though, is made of softer plastic. You see as well, in this case, they've actually stitched on the Luigi patch on there really nicely, the way they've added those little beads of where the stitching would be. There's really nice, interesting stitching that normally would not be on a Mario or Luigi figure. You can see all the nice stitching around the hat area there as well. The face stays pretty cartoony, like they haven't modernized it too much. I mean, you can definitely see, I think, with more Mario than Luigi, where a lot of the changes have been made to his face. He's not as maybe round in the face as what we are used to seeing in the video games themselves. They obviously have made them a little bit more, again, more geared towards having them on the big silver screen. Luigi's colors, of course, unlike Mario being the red and the blue, are actually more blue and green. He's got the green in the hat. He's got matching green, of course, for his long sleeves of his shirt, and then he's got the blue coveralls over top of that. White gloves. Now, I think with the white gloves, though, I've noticed a little bit, I don't know if you can actually, maybe I flaked some of it off. There was a little bit of paint that was left behind from the handle of the flashlight. I may have even scraped it off just before this review. It doesn't seem to come off too much, but I think if the hands are painted, repeated adding, of course, the flashlight, removing the flashlight, you know, again, rinse and repeating, that may start to chip away. If this is a painted hand, which I don't think it is, it might be, though. If it is painted, though, it might start to flake off the more you're adding the flashlight. But again, overall, like the overalls do look really good on this guy. He's got the little stitched pocket there on the front, the gold again on the front where the snaps would come over for the overalls. And he's also got, again, that little bit of gold. I'm so surprised to see that they actually put that right by the pocket. It's actually on the both sides as well. Nice stitch work also down the sides of his legs. And like Mario, Luigi has very similar types of boots as well. The shoes themselves, you can see some nice have soling on the bottom of it. And a very similar type of brown has also been laced there for the tops of the shoes also as well. The articulation on this guy is going to be quite similar to Mario. In fact, it's going to be exactly the same as Mario, just even though he's going to be a little bit longer of a body. Luigi's head is once again on a ball joint, so you can rotate it all the way around. I have, unfortunately, though, you probably can see a little bit of paint that's on the top of the neck. I'm not sure what's there, why it's there, because it's not necessarily, it looks like it's green paint. So probably when they went in and they were trying to paint the color of the shirt, a little bit of green found its way on the top of the neck. I mean, if you're going to look at it this way, at least on mine, I'm never going to be able to see it. It's only really when I'm turning the neck, that I'm turning the head, I should say, that I do notice a little bit of paint, a little bit of that green is left behind there. I also notice there's a little bit of paint there also on the side, and he's also got a little bit there on the top of his nose. So the paint isn't the cleanest in all the cases, but it's not bad. It's still pretty good, though. The head is very, again, limited. You're only going to be able to move it down by that much. You're only going to be able to move it up that much. I know it almost doesn't even look like I've done anything to it. Head does rotate also all the way around. Luigi's arms, like Mario, actually does give you the option where you can bring those arms really, really high up. And you can also, again, rotate those arms all the way around. The figure does also have a hinge only in the elbow, but at least that hinge in the elbow also allows the forearm to rotate all the way around. Hands also do, again, rotate back and forth. Now, again, like I said that with Mario, not that I was already surprised, because I wouldn't have been surprised having already looked at Mario, but nice to see that, once again, they did put in ball joints on the tops of the bodies. So, like, this top of the body is actually attached by a ball joint. It does leave a little of a gap, but does allow for a little bit of additional rocking, and you can rotate it back and forth. Legs, again, seem to be on ball joints, so you can hinge and give Luigi's the splits. Ow, mamma mia! Or you can take those legs again, move them forward, move them back. About halfway up the thighs, there's a swivel cut that allows the leg to rotate all the way around. The figure does have only a single hinge once again in the knee, which again on this one, unfortunately, on my Luigi at least, I've got loose knees. This knee's not as bad, but this knee right here is already starting to be loose immediately getting out of this guy out of the packaging. Boots rock back and forth. You can also rotate the shoes, and you can also hinge them up and down as well. Putting the two brothers again side by side, correction I wanted to make from the Mario movie, the Mario movie figure review I did already on the channel. I did want to correct myself. I did say, I think in that guy's video, that the price of what these guys were going for on the store shelves in Walmart, I think was like $24.97. I wanted to say it was like $25, and I did say it was $25 when I look at Mario. Now, though I think about it, I was just looking online also at Walmart's website, and Walmart's website advertises these guys at $29. I don't think it was $29 because I probably would have stopped right there and probably even put the figures back on the shelf. But in fact, Luigi and Mario wasn't $24.97. It was, I think, more closer to $28.97. Still, again, pretty high when you consider that while as posable and nice as the figures do look, I think they should have still come with a lot more accessories than what they actually did. Even though I'm sure John Leguizamo would probably disagree with me. I actually kind of like that Charlie Day is lending his voice to Luigi. I always really liked him, and again, Horrible Bosses, never really got the chance to see It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I've heard good things about it. What little I've seen, of course, of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, only by clips online, and of course the many trailers that they did have leading up to the movie's release, I think they've actually cast all the actors and actresses fittingly for all the characters in the movie. When you have Chris Pratt as Mario, while a lot of people I think initially didn't like the idea that Chris Pratt was portraying Mario, I think you couldn't have, for example, Charles Martinet as actually doing the voice of Mario through an entire movie. It's fine and good to actually have Charlie doing the voice of Mario in a video game, but to have that dragged out over the span of an hour and a half or even 2-hour movie, I think that his version of Mario would be a little bit too much. So again, I really like the cast of characters that they actually chose for the characters in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Do you agree or disagree with the idea of Chris Pratt and Charlie Day playing Super Mario and Luigi? Let me know down below in the comment section. Though back to the Luigi figure, of course, I've got him displayed here with his trusty flashlight. I had heard rumblings online that if the Super Mario movie does well in theaters, which, I mean, that's a no-brainer. What's the chances of a Super Mario Bros. Movie not doing well in the theaters that they've already planned subsequent sequels? And I think one sequel that they're tossing around is a Luigi's Mansion. Being a big fan of Luigi and always being the guy that played Luigi growing up, yes, please, to the idea of Luigi's Mansion. What do you guys think of this figure? Let me know down below in the comment section, overlooking the obvious price point of what these guys are selling for. I did mention at one point it was $24. I think I'm closer to saying that it was $28 a piece when I was picking these up, but that's to go without saying. I mean, that's the price of everything nowadays. Action figures, whether it's Super Mario Brothers or not, everything is going up. And of course, when it comes to picking up figures, you're not going to have as much of a budget to put aside for many figures in one go. You might have to find yourself picking up one figure at a time, or in my case, picking up Super Mario and Luigi, and then going back and picking up, providing she's still there, Princess Peach if she's still on the shelf. But again, what do you guys think of these figures? Let me know down below in the comments section. Certainly as well, if you guys enjoyed this video, why not hit with a like? If you guys are loving the content you guys are seeing and certainly on board to see more, we may wrap things up right now for Super Mario Bros. Movie, but rest assured we will be going back to this line in future videos. But making sure, of course, that you're hitting that subscribe button down below, making sure, of course, that you're turning on the bell notification, and making sure, of course, that you're coming back with peepers fully peeled for all the new content that's coming your way. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.